Hello, everyone. This is your guy Sam Hutchins from the It's a Wrap with Reggie and Sam podcast. I am broadcasting live here from the Wembley Center in Winder, Georgia, where they're having a community outreach. It's basically about the Wembley Roots Center and the many facets that it has to offer for the community. And again, like I said, broadcasting live. This is the It's a Wrap with Reggie and Sam podcast. Hope my guy Reggie will come on and I can bring him on screen too, so we can have him. But anyway, again, like I said, this is being brought on by the Winder Housing Authority and all the attendants. I'm not attending, all the the attendants. Would you call them attendants? No, residents. That's what you would call it. That's the word I'm looking for. All the residents that are here at the Wembley Center, and like I said, mainly it's being put on by the Wembley Roots because they're the ones who really put this thing together, along with Miss Michelle Young, who we'll have on later, and she'll come on and explain more about this. But if you're in the Winder area, Winder Stadium, any of those places, come on out. It's a free event. It's a lot of stuff going on here. I'm going to read off some of the businesses that are here, and some of the proprietors. I didn't get all of the proprietors, but I did get some of them. And like I said, it's called Grilling and Chilling. They're actually cooking here. It really smells good. I'm backstage here trying to get away from some of the noise so I can get to the audio and all that good stuff. Zanran, there's an Asian cuisine. I'm thinking Asian cuisine. It's sort of like a juice that they said that is some kind of juice that they use. And of course, we got the Barrow County DMs here registering people to vote. So if you're not registered to vote, this is a great opportunity if you're close by to come on out and vote. Come on out and get registered to vote. Or if you want to just check on your voting status, to see if you're eligible to vote, because that deadline is coming up pretty soon too. And this is not about you being registered. I know they are under the name, the Barrow County DMs, but again, it doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican, or Independent. You need to get your status checked, or if you need to register to vote, they're not going to not register you if you say I'm a Republican, so you maybe don't want to register me. Nonsense. They just want people to be registered to vote so you can participate in this democratic process. And again, keep going back. We have the Veterans Resource Center. They're out here. Barrow County has a lot of veterans. I myself am a veteran. Was in the Air Force from 81 to 87. So they got a lot of veteran resources because veterans do need help. A lot of people are just don't know what to do, don't know where to go, and sometimes it's not that they don't know. Sometimes it's about their pride. But anyway, they got a resource center out here for that too as well. So if you could just come on out, veterans, or if you know a veteran, or if you're a veteran yourself, you just come on out and just show your support and let them know that you appreciate them for thinking about you, because that's something that they didn't have to do. And I think the veterans are some of the most overlooked group of people in this country. Once you serve this country, especially if you come back wounded, and the post-traumatic stress syndrome, that stuff is real. People, absolutely, because I had a brother who served in both wars, the Gulf War and Desert Storm. So that stuff is real, and I know that personally. And we have Misty Flower Reese. They're out here too as well. So if you could come on out. And we got Caitlin, who's from Wembley Roots, who's probably at the epicenter of all of this, the Wembley Roots Center. And it's about gardening and things of that nature. She was telling me about some stuff that was coming on. And like I said, just come on out and see what's going on and see what she has to offer. She's a really nice girl. And we had Candle, Lady Homestead gatherings. We have MedLink, Marissa, shout out to them, the Winder location, local offices, but they serve many, many more areas other than Winder. And we have another outreach center that is coming. But coming on now is I'm going to talk with the Barrow County DMs, who are putting this on. Welcome. I just missed that in the chat. I'm sorry I had to come back. I didn't hit you. But if we got them coming on, and I want to let them introduce themselves. So if you could, may have a little feedback in the mic right here, so I can get you guys on here. Alrighty, go ahead with the introduction. Again, I am Sam Hutchins from the It's a Wrap with Reggie and Sam podcast. We are the podcast of the people, and we're going to be interviewing a lot of vendors that are here at the Wembley Roots Center. And coming up first is going to be Miss
Shelby Diamond Alexander.
Shelby Dobbs Alexander from you're the president of the Barrow
I'm the
County Deal.
chair of the Barrow County Democratic Committee.
And who do we have here to your side? She's
And
off
I
camera,
am
but
Peggy Perkins, and I'm the vice chair of the Barrow County Democratic Committee.
okay. I'm gonna let you guys kind of take it. I'm gonna throw you some softball questions, mainly because I don't know any better either. So I'm looking to be educated too here as well. What I was explaining to some people earlier on my live audience. I got like 6 people watching right now, but
Okay.
don't want to scare you guys. But we got like 8,500 subscribers, so we're talking to at least 8,000 people right
Okay.
now, or potentially. So, what I was trying to explain to them, and correct me if I'm wrong, so you can correct me here on air. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. You guys will register anybody that wants to register to vote. Is that was I correct in saying that?
Yes, you are absolutely correct. You can register anybody to vote. We have registration forms. We have absentee ballots that are available. We have all kinds of information available, especially with registration dates. We have voting dates. We have information on deadlines of when you have to register or when you can register. Um, we have early voting information. What else do we have?
We have we have information of what is going to be questions that's going to be on the Barrow County ballot that people are not aware of and need to be aware of. We also, if they come in, we can go online and check to make sure they are registered to vote, and they can check to make sure their information is correct. And we have found a couple of people this morning that their polling location was not what they thought, and one had a different address on their registration than what they thought. So it's good to check all that information out.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, especially with I guess the atmosphere that's being created about voter fraud,
Exactly.
and people are looking for reasons to. And I don't want to say this because I don't. I'm trying to remain neutral on this thing, but the importance of having all your ducks in a row, so to speak.
Right.
And I think a lot of people, some people will look at it as, well, why can't you get your ducks in a row? Well, though your ducks are not my ducks.
Right.
Maybe it may be difficult for me to get my ducks in a row, but that does not no less makes me a citizen. And so, some people, well, why can't you get the voter ID and all? If you got, it's more than one way to say that you are who you are. But to say that this is the only way to say that you are who you are,
Exactly.
I think,
Yes.
because it's like I always say on my podcast, and when I talk with people, I always tell them, I'll be like, we are all the sum total of our life's experience.
Exactly.
How we went through what we went through, it determined the persons that we are and the decisions that we make.
Right.
So what's right for you is right for you. It's not necessarily the way I do it,
Right.
which doesn't, because I don't do it the way you do it, doesn't mean I'm doing it wrong.
Well, that's one of the main things that the Barrow County Democratic Committee is doing. We are here to provide information. Okay, we're not here to tell anybody how to vote. We're here to make sure that the registration is valid. If you don't have a registration, then we can register you. We are here to support our constituents in the county.
Right.
Okay, or in any county for that matter, because we do work across county lines.
Okay.
We can help across, we support each county. And that's one of our main things. So, just because we may be Democrat, it doesn't mean that we can't help Republicans get registered also and give them the information.
And that's the thing, and that's the thing that the talking points that I would tell people. They make decisions without being informed.
Right.
You turn on your CNN and your Fox News, and you look at those talking points, and that'll be gospel for you. But then when you look a little bit further, you find out, well, they distorted the truth on both sides.
Exactly.
But and my whole thing is when I talk to people, like I said, I'm not trying to get you to vote for the person that I'm voting for. Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is think for yourself.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. Think for yourself, and if it still makes sense for you after you thought for yourself, then I'm not mad at you.
Yes.
But the atmosphere, the environment that's being created is you personally attacking people you don't know.
Exactly.
that blows my mind. And you call yourself a Christian out of that same mouth. That I really don't get that. And you were saying about what's on the ballot for the Barrow County area
Yes.
that they need to know about. Tell us a couple of things that they need to know about, because a lot of times people don't understand about House bills, resolutions, and what's on the ballot, and the SPLOS and all that other stuff. They
Right.
don't understand that kind of stuff, because so they don't even vote for it. You see what I'm saying? And like I tell people, not voting for it is voting no. It's the only way you can look at it.
Exactly. You're
No.
giving away your vote if you don't.
Yeah, absolutely. So could you speak to something like that?
Well, for Barrow County, there are going to be 3 questions about homestead exceptions, and it's primarily concerning elder citizens.
Wow.
As
Okay.
to whether they can declare a homestead exemption for perhaps school taxes. So there's going to be 3 questions on the ballot about that.
Uh huh.
And so they need to be aware of it, because what we have been told is that all 3 questions have to be answered yes, or nothing passes. So,
Now, if I don't want to, that's great, but why is that? So you can agree with 2 of the 3 questions, and it still won't, and it still means no.
well, they need to come out to our September 9th meeting.
And where's that being held?
Center, here at the University Center.
In the conference room.
Okay.
State Representative Hope Persinger is going to be addressing that.
Okay.
Or be there where we can ask him questions. Why are there 3 questions that are basically talking about the same thing?
Yeah, that's to me that's
So I don't have an answer
And
to
why-
as to
and-
why it's that way.
okay. Because okay, so we're all in agreement, and that is crazy that one yes and 2 no's, or 2 yeses can turn into it's 1 no.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because
Which
they
makes
all
no
3
sense.
have different ages and income levels on each one.
So it's all or nothing.
It's all or nothing.
Yeah. So that's why
And
we're
that make-
letting him come out. Because here again, like Shelby's talking about,
Yeah.
we Democrats are about is informing voters, no matter which side you're on.
Yeah.
We want you to be informed so that you make the best.
They wouldn't spread misinformation, because that was one of the things that I always tell people. You can still, if you're a registered voter, you can still vote. Just because you didn't vote in general, you can still vote in the primary.
Exactly.
But a lot of people think they can't. So I'm glad you're saying that to my audience, because we absolutely cannot. And again, it's the misinformation that people don't know, and I don't know who told them that, because these were people that were older than I am, and they thought that for years.
Right, right. And that's the issue, because
Yeah.
things are being updated all the time. And
Yeah.
we need to keep up with the information, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to help inform everyone and answer their questions if we can. And if we don't know, we're going to say, we don't know, but we're going to find the answer for you.
You and I are alike, because I'm that same way. Because I tell you, quick story. My daughter used to always tell her elementary teachers that my daddy knows everything, which was far from the truth. But I'm one of those people. If I don't know, I don't have a problem telling you. Look, I don't know. I have to get back with you on that one. I don't know, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
But I think. Anyway, well, what's going on now is that, like I said, the thing that bothers me most about this election cycle, so to speak, is the division, and people trying to blame each other for the division, and again the personal attack. I see friends losing friendships and all of that stuff. But again, and you hold on to your faith, which is what I do, and because. And I tell people, I don't know why they would post that. Don't read it.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I mean, you don't have to comment on it. Just let it go, because I see a lot of stuff from friends of mine. But we are friends, and I call myself a true friend. And our political views are not going to separate them. That's how you feel. That's how you feel.
Exactly.
And you let that. But when I do see stuff like one of the things I saw on Facebook, they had a picture of Vice President Kamala Harris, and they had a dog next to her. It said the dog looks better. What? Why?
Exactly.
Why would you? You don't know that lady.
Exactly.
And everything that you're saying about her, somebody told you. You don't know that.
Or just made up.
But in a lot of cases, like the AI generated fiasco that they said.
Yeah, that's crazy. We were there. I was there. So
And my whole thing was, I had people that friends of mine, and I still consider them friends, even though they done that. They ran to Facebook with it, and they said, Now what do y'all got to say? This was AI generated, yada yada yada. And I don't understand how you didn't fact check, you didn't do anything. You just said, yeah. See what I'm saying?
Right.
And then when it came out, nobody come back and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I was wrong."
Exactly.
You
Because
just took it down.
it was thrown out there. It was just thrown out there, and then people just took it and ran with it
Yeah.
without, like you said, fact checking. Now, for
I mean, it was live stream for Christ's sake.
exactly,
That's what I didn't
exactly.
get.
And like I was at the event here in Atlanta when Vice President Kamala came
Yeah.
to visit, for her rally, and it was full to the rafters.
Yeah.
There were people standing outside, and of course they're saying, "Oh, it was AI generated. There wasn't anyone standing outside," but there was. The place was full to the rafters.
Yeah.
I was there. I know.
Yeah.
You know.
And again, that's just. And like I said, we call us with our little moniker is we are the podcast of the people, and I don't want somebody to think that we are here that would bashing Republicans. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you have a conversation with a person and not identify what, you'll find that you all pretty much want the same thing.
Exactly.
It's just that who do you believe can give it to you?
Exactly.
And my thoughts on this, anything because I'm kind of like a political nerd,
Yeah.
and I follow a lot of stuff. And here's kind of what my rule when I'm reading things. If it doesn't hit my common sense, something ain't right. So we all have that little voice inside going,
Yeah.
that don't make no sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No matter
Exactly.
who is
Yeah.
being said on the other is, that if it doesn't make sense to you, then it's probably not true.
And the fact, and it's something I always say, but I don't understand that. No, maybe time because you don't understand it because it doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
And if it doesn't make
Exactly.
sense, it's not meant to be understood. So you're not going to understand it.
And I think we all are, because it's like Kamala Harris said in her acceptance speech. If somebody's house is burning, you're not thinking about which side of the aisle they're on. You're just wanting to get in there and save them and to help them.
Exactly.
And even the cat. Even the cat.
And in some cases, especially the cat.
That's all that you're thinking about.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. And we all still feel that way. I mean, I've got some people that, they are very alt-right. Okay?
Yeah.
But I know I can pick up the phone. I can call and say I need your help. And they'd be there in a hot minute.
Exactly.
And isn't that what at the democracy at its core? Isn't that what it's about?
That's what it's all about.
Because I had this because democracy was designed with people, human beings in mind. I'm sorry, the what's best for all people.
All people, and that's
And
that's one of the big
then that's
keys.
and that what people seem to think that it's just made for certain groups of people.
Right.
And okay, this is the way it's supposed to be. So what if you don't like it? I had a conversation with a guy at my job, and I was told, and I was the nature of the conversation was pretty much along these lines, and I was like, because people aren't willing to sacrifice for the next person. I said that's what's at the basis. That's what's at the basis of what's wrong. And I said because democracy is about caring about people. I said, for instance, if this group has got 80 and they're happy because that's what they need, they want that 80. But then you ask them, would you take 65 if more people could feel the way you feel? Most of the time they're gonna say no. I need my 80, and that's where we are. And that's a sad. But I said, but that's where we are.
That's true. That's very true.
But yeah.
But we're all in this together. That's where we come from. We are all in this together. We meet the second Monday of every month here at the Women's Center.
Okay. What room?
In the conference.
In the conference room. Okay.
Yep. And it's 6 o'clock, and anyone is invited to attend. You can come and get information.
Okay.
All righty. We don't turn anybody away.
Okay.
That's the way we handle our business.
And that's
But
the way.
we're all about the business.
At the end of the day, it's still people.
It's still people. That's it.
It-
And
it-
we all just need to be on the same page because we all have the same values. And that's what we need to look at. We need to look at our values. You need to vote your conscience, vote your values, and support your neighbors. That's what we're all in here for.
Yeah. And one of the things that I when I talk to people, I always tell them, you don't understand that for whatever reason, we're all in the same condition.
That's it.
But we choose to think that because we make a lot of money, we're not in that. We're separate. We're isolated. We're insulated from that condition. But we're not. We're all in that same condition. And one of the things that the pandemic taught us, because it put us, you realize that we were all in the same condition
Right,
now.
right.
Our money can't get us out of it.
Exactly.
I don't care what kind of house we live in. We still got to abide by these COVID rules. We're all in this same condition, and that's the thing that people need to understand. We're all in the same condition, but for whatever reason, in our minds, I guess we think, well, because I make more money than this person do, I'm not in the same condition that that person is. But the condition that we're in has zero to do with your economic status. It has zero to do with your social status. It's about you as a person, you as a human being, as an individual, and that's the thing that I cannot. It's hard to get people to understand that, but to grasp the concept of that, but we got to, because when you look at the humanity of it all, it's about how we treat people.
Exactly, how we treat each other.
Yeah, and like I say, if I see my brother suffering, I see my sister suffering, and I'm not saying my black brother, my black sister. I'm talking about my human brothers and sisters. Okay, if I see them suffering, and I can help them, I'm going to help them.
Right.
And not and the thing I always tell you, my help does not obligate you to help me. I help you because when you give from the heart and you care about people from the heart,
That's it.
you seeing them doing better, that's your pay. That's your reward. They don't need to do or give you anything.
But the thing about it though is that a lot of people, it's like when we're growing up, we're taught to share.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
But for somewhere along the line, it's like, okay, I don't want this person to have what I have.
Hey,
Tell me
speak
why.
to it. Speak to
Tell
it.
me
Speak
why.
to it.
Because what I want my house. I want my children to be okay. I want my health care. I want my car, just like anybody else.
Yes.
I'm not taking anything away from
You.
Okay, because you work for what you got, I work for what I got,
Yeah.
Peggy works for what she's got.
Yes.
Okay? We're all working to get the same things. So where does the humanity come in?
But in this environment that's being created, the humanity is taken out of it, and which leads to you'll talk to a Republican, he'll say, well, the Democrats are dividing us. You talk to a Democrat, and they'll say the Republicans are dividing us, and you say you're a political nerd. I was talking with someone, and I said clearly, it is time for common sense to take another party, a common sense party, to take over.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be, but let the other parties know, hey, stop this.
Right.
Stop this. And I harken back to when Barack Obama got elected, and to me it's one of and a lot of people overlook it, but for me it's one of the most tragic moments in the history of our country. Mitch McConnell said,
Valid.
it is our job to make sure that he is a one-term president.
Right.
No, sir, that is not your job. Your job is to hold him accountable, to make sure he does what is right, what is best for the American people. That is your job.
Exactly. And that's a lot
And
of things.
people lined up with that, and I agree with him. I'm like, what?
No.
No.
Why would you want
Why would you want somebody? And to be fair, people said the same thing about Donald Trump. I said, why would you want Donald Trump to fail? Why would you want Donald Trump to fail?
it makes
And I said, Dad, I said, that makes no sense.
Well, I think that's why so many people are so fed up.
Yeah, and they are.
tired.
Yes.
A lot of people are, I don't want to vote because I'm just so fed up with all of it, which they should vote so that we can get it. But we all want Congress to work together to solve our
Exactly.
problems.
Exactly.
Instead of playing the politics.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, there's so much money in politics,
And you can't
and
get it
that
out.
makes it very difficult. So I can understand why some of the things they do, but it still boils down to us voters saying to our representatives, we want problems solved. Don't give a rat's honey about how much money you gotta have to win your campaign. We want problems solved because the most recent crime example was the border bill
Oh God.
that both sides worked on
And agreed
to
on.
an agreement, and then it was this, and we all, Democrats and Republicans, are all agreeing the border's a mess,
Yeah.
and we need to get that fixed. We need immigration reform. There's just a whole bunch of things, and we voters, I think, need to be calling our legislatures, writing our legislatures,
Texting
our
our-
representatives,
Texting. Any form, yeah.
fed up with it. Get these things solved.
And stop playing. Stop
That-
name calling.
And see,
Stop it.
that's the thing that drives me nuts about it. Because I look at it like I'll see somebody on my page and they say, "Oh, he's stupid. They're this and they're that." I'm like, I just shake my head. And again, I just don't comment on it because I'm not losing friends. So I got some great friends I've known since I was in the 5th grade.
Yes.
And I am not going to blow that up. But I don't understand how did we get here?
There were no adults in the room.
And it seems like there still aren't.
There were no adults in the room. I think we do have some adults that are coming,
Yeah.
and they're trying, to right the wrongs or the incorrectness, and we have to vote to trust this person or those people to
Yeah.
do the right thing and let go of this name calling and the backbiting. Let that go.
Yeah.
Give us what we are asking for.
And-
we're voting to put them in office to do a job. They work for us. We don't work for them. They work for us. So we can hire and fire.
Absolutely, but that gets lost. I think that gets lost with what the politicians are doing, or because it was one, and like one of the politicians, I cannot think of his name, and one of them was, I think it was Ken, but no, it wasn't Ken, but I forget what the name. He actually stood up and he was fed up, as you just said. He said to his Republican Party, he said, "We have not passed not one piece of legislation during this time. We have spent all this time with impeachment inquiries and all of this other stuff. The American people did not send us here to do that."
Right.
I love that guy.
Yes, definitely.
And you can go back even further, because one of the things that, you like you said, when both parties worked together, was when repeal and replace Obamacare was supposed to be the thing. And it's like I tell people, one of my talking points is that I tell them, why do you think they didn't repeal and replace it? I said, because you had a sitting Republican president, you had a Republican House, you had a Republican Senate. I said, why do you all they had to do was vote party lines and they could have overturned it? What happened? And I said, tell you what happened, because there was some common sense Republicans on that other side looked at what was being proposed as opposed to what it was, and they said, no, this is not going to work.
Exactly.
And I said, everybody, gives it to John McCain because he walked up, he cast the final vote, with the thumbs down.
Right.
I said, but at the end of the day, it was common sense that came together. And again, when the border bill, and you love to yell about the border now, but you turned down a bill that would have did something. Maybe it wouldn't have done everything that you wanted, but it would have done something.
It wasn't perfect.
No,
But
well,
they
nothing
did it
is,
together.
and that's the thing. Even Obamacare, as they call it, but they stopped calling it Obamacare now. Like you said, now they call it the Affordable Health Care Act, which is what it was from the beginning. But they just, they didn't want they wanted people to think that Obama was trying to shove this down their throat. Look at this black man trying to shove this down your throat. They called it Obamacare, but it's been an Affordable Health Care Act since 1992. I know, maybe for 40 years. But anyway, that kind of politics, it's got to stop.
It doesn't do anything for
People.
It does not move our country forward.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the information out to our Brown County residents to let them know this is your choice. Here's some information that you need to know because everybody doesn't. They're not online.
Well, they're
Looking
not
at
tech
things.
savvy.
Right, they're not tech savvy, so
Yeah.
therefore a lot of people don't even have a laptop or a computer.
They don't have Instagram. They don't have
They don't
Facebook. They
have
don't have
all of
YouTube.
that. So
Yeah.
that's
Shout
why
out to my platform.
we try to use various contact methods, face to face, texting, emailing, phone calling, canvassing.
Canvassing.
Yes.
Is that still probably the most effective one out of all of them?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So when we go and we're knocking on doors, we're trying to talk to people to inform them. We're not there to tell them whether you need to vote for a Republican or Democrat or Independent or whatever. We're not there to do that. We're just there to provide the information and stimulate the activity of going to vote. Be an active voter.
Yeah.
Be an active listener. Be an active participant. And
Okay.
that's what we're looking for.
Well, that's great. I got a couple of questions about deadlines. When is the last day that you can register to vote for this upcoming election?
It's October.
7th. I'm guessing.
Yes.
I'm guessing.
Yes,
It's
this is
October 7th.
7th.
That's correct.
And
Okay.
then early voting starts right after that.
It starts October 15th.
So it's October 15th. Okay.
Of course, November the 5th is election day.
Right.
Right.
And what we would like everyone to know is make sure you go into the Georgia SOS. Is it Georgia? It's GA dot
SOS.ga. Forgot it.
I forgot what it is.
They can also go into my voter page,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is MVP.
Okay. Is it M.V.P. or MVP.
MVP, my voter page. Or they can Google it. And
Yes.
it should
Isn't that always good? Google it.
Google it.
you
know.
know, able to go in that.
Yeah.
And for us older people that not have that savviness to be able to go in to do that or have the access, ask a young person. Ask your grandchildren, ask your child. If
What?
not, you can contact us. We will look it up for you.
Okay.
We have that capability.
And
Okay.
they can also contact the local
Local office.
Right.
registrar's office. And those are very helpful people.
Yes.
They'll look up information for you, tell you what you need to do, and they may be able to do some stuff over the phone.
Exactly.
Good.
So they're very, very, very helpful.
Okay. So if somebody wanted to volunteer to say for canvassing, how would they go out doing that? How would they get in? How would they get in touch with you guys?
They can give us a call.
Shout out the phone number because I got to go back and edit this, and I'll put the phone number in the description.
Hold on a second, because I don't know it by heart.
Okay.
Let's see here. Barrow County Dems. They can contact us on email,
Okay.
and our number is 678-837-5519.
Okay.
Okay.
And that email address is?
The email address is barrowdems@barrowdems.org.
Okay.
We also have a website,
Okay.
and that website is barrowcountydems.com. Right? Okay. It's hard to remember all of this.
Okay.
But they can feel free to contact. We've been canvassing. We canvassed last weekend. We'll be canvassing again this weekend in Barrow County, and we do plan to have additional sessions of canvassing, phone banking, text banking. Anybody who wants to be involved, they can contact us.
Okay.
We've also, I want to kind of brag on us. We partnered with Indivisible Georgia District 10 to postcards for swing states. What they've done in Clark County and what we've done in Bear County, we are sending out over 10,000 postcards.
Wow.
That we can't even get anymore.
Wow.
They've shut down. Y'all bungers. We have lots of people that they want to write postcards.
Yeah.
Because we've got something for everyone. Not everybody is physically able or wants to go knock on doors. Not everybody wants to make phone calls. And so we have a variety of things.
Ways to help, to volunteer.
If you're wanting to help, we've got a variety of ways to do it.
Wow. And again, I love what you guys do. And then I'm gonna go. I'm gonna Miss Peggy. Is something you want to say? To what you would like? Something you would like to leave my audience with today?
Well, what I want everybody, again, our shared values. We all love this country. We all think it is the United States is the best country in the world. So we are all patriots. Whether we fly a flag outside our house or not, doesn't mean that we're not a patriot.
Absolutely.
We believe this country can go forward, that we are not in doom and gloom.
And that's another thing. Another conversation for another room. Though. But anyway,
Again, we are all about fixing stuff.
yeah.
So those are that's what I got to say, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, but feel free to contact us, because like I said, we're here to provide information, provide support, just help people. That's what we do. That's what we do. And whether it's if we have to, and I hate to say cross the line because to me there's not really a line. It's all blurred. But whether you're Republican, Independent, not sure, Democrat or whatever, that's what we are here for. And we need to do this together.
Absolutely.
Let's stop all with the bickering and the backbiting and the name calling.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't do, it just zaps your energy.
Yeah, and it defeats the purpose. It also defeats the purpose. One more thing before I let you guys get out of here. I was at an event where we were talking about the importance of voting, which I think is very important. And the young man and I engaged in a conversation, and looking back, I said, "This is what I should have told him." And he was saying, and I was asking the question, "What happened to the enthusiasm after Barack Obama was not running anymore from the young people, especially the young African Americans who they just didn't show up for Hillary because they didn't and I asked him, I said, what message was not being gotten out there? And he said, well, we don't know what we're voting for. He said one thing about it. He said when Barack was running, they told us why we were voting. We were voting for this, and this. And he said now we don't know what we're voting for. And I went back and I looked at. Because I did post it on my YouTube page. I did go back and look. What I should have asked him was, "What did you want?"
Yes, that's it.
And what do you want? And because this notion that my vote doesn't matter, they're going to do whatever they want to. Somebody wants you to think that way. Somebody benefits from you thinking that way, and it's not you.
Right.
And that's the thing. And I looked at what I looked at, and as soon as I looked at it, I was like, "That's what I should have told him. What do you want?"
Yeah. And the thing about it though is people need to ask. If we are being disenfranchised, any group being disenfranchised, we need to think about the question, why is it certain people don't want us to vote? Why
want to disqualify?
Why do you want to disqualify? Think about where the money is coming from for each one of your candidates. That will tell you who's supporting and who that candidate is loyal to.
And that was a point that I brought up at that gathering. Is that what I said? They look at the demographics and see who's voting.
Right.
And so if a representative or whoever looks at this and says, hey, 90% of the people that voted for me are in this part of my district. So what do you think the monies that he's got, where do you think that money's going to go to?
Right.
I said, it's something as simple as that makes the decision. I said, why do you think you can look on one side of town and see sidewalks being built and all these kind of, and I said, less than half a mile across the street, it looks like Vietnam in some places.
Exactly.
I said, why do you think that is? I said, you can tell who the people who are voting and the people who are not voting. So for you to think that my vote doesn't count, I said, that's kind of a defeated purpose. I said, it doesn't do you any good. And it's certainly not the way you should be thinking.
And the thing about it is, I would like to make a challenge.
Okay.
Go online, or get somebody to go online with you and look up how many political races won by one vote. Look it up.
Yeah. I mean the mayor's race here, Jimmy Terrell.
Yes.
I think it was 1,500 people voted.
Right.
I think he got like a little over 1,000. I didn't even know who the person that was running against
Right.
him. They got like 500 votes,
Right.
400 votes.
You know,
So
but
you saw that, and I told, shout out to Rural Women in Action, Tammy Kinney, and I told her, I said, that's our fault.
right.
I
Because
said that. I said that is ridiculous. I said that is our fault. I said you talking about less than 1,000. I said so you trying to tell me that we let less than 2,000 people decide who the mayor of
exactly,
Washington would
exactly.
be?
Every
I
vote
said that's
counts. It
crazy.
makes no sense. It makes
And
no
yeah, and she
sense.
was because she didn't know the margin, and I was like no. I said no. I said it was the grand total of less than 2,000 people that voted. I
Right.
said that
But,
man got
but
14,
but then you
1,500.
got all these other folks who did not vote complaining.
Those are the
Okay.
yeah. That, and that
Don't complain.
it
What's that?
blown.
What was that? This speech writer or speech person said? Do something.
Yes.
Do something. Don't sit back and complain. Don't sit back
Yeah.
and fuss. Don't, well, they didn't do
Cause
this.
that this
They didn't do that. What do you do?
And that's always been my thing. When people start complaining, did you vote? No. Be quiet.
Okay,
I don't want to hear
that's
nothing you
it.
got to say.
And I think that's where a lot of people think, well, I'm only going to vote next to the flashy stuff.
Right.
Well, yeah, and
And
oh,
they really need to be looking at local elections because that's the votes
that's what's going to affect,
dollars.
and that's what's going to affect you immediately. And that's what I
Immediately.
used to tell people when they were running there. All I'm doing is going in here and vote for Barack and then leaving. There's House bills, resolutions, there's ordinances, and all this other stuff that affects you immediately. But you're not paying any attention. You just ran there and voted for Barack. Said, okay, I voted for Barack. And then you wonder why he couldn't get nothing done. I tell you why he couldn't get done. I said, you didn't go and vote for the governor that backed his policy. You did not
Exactly.
vote for the mayor that backed the governor that backed his policies. I said, that's the way that works. And I said, and that's why you think it doesn't work because you don't know how it works.
Exactly.
You don't understand.
It's called Civics 101,
101.
which they do not teach in school anymore. And
Shout
they
out! Oh, I'm
do.
telling you so much. Shout out to Eugene Thomas, who
Yes.
taught me that when I was in middle school, right here in this very school, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
And that man, everything I know, the basis of the foundation for everything I know and think about politics can be resorted back to Eugene Thomas. Shout out to Eugene, shout out to Gene Thomas. That was my favorite teacher all the way, and he always looked out for me. But that is where I got it from because
He's
he.
a wonderful man.
Oh, absolutely. He rubs some people the wrong way, but at the core, he's still a great man. I've always looked up and admired him, and when I see him, I tell him that is what civics. That is where I got all of that from.
Exactly.
And but like you said, I don't understand why they don't teach that in school no more. But he did that for me, and when I got into high school, there was American history and all this other stuff that he taught me, and he knew what he was talking about. So that's what got it. Like I said, my shout out. I said, "Well, you saw him in politics. You got him to blame or congratulate for?" Because that was Eugene Thomas for that. But ladies, thank you guys so much. This has been riveting. You got a great radio voice. You know that. As do you, Miss Deb. I gotta have. Listen, I hadn't got to the money yet. Well, as soon as I get to the money, I got you involved. And I'm still. This is still a young podcast. I'm trying to build up. Like I said, I got a little less than. I got 8,500 and something subscribers.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
But again, trying to get out a message. But if anyway, I would love to have you back on. As a matter of fact, I'm going to reach out. I need your information before you go.
Okay.
Both of you guys, because I want you guys to come back. I want to be able to sit and talk hours about this
Okay. Well,
instead
we
of
got
just 30
business
minutes.
cards we can give you for our contact information.
Absolutely. And thank you guys so much for coming. And I don't have much, but I'm going to give you guys a pen.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate it. We
Yeah.
like pens.
I'll tell you what, these are some great writing pens,
We
too.
like pens. I like-
These
I
are some
like
great
them.
writing pens. So it has our little moniker on it, the podcast for the people.
Awesome.
But again, I'm gonna give you my contact information before I leave here today too. Again, I would love to. I want to get very much involved in it. Maybe a part-time job or something, canvassing, doing something like that, whatever. But I am 100% behind the democratic process. I just want people to make up their minds, and there's a friend of mine who has a podcast. He's in Indiana. He's autistic, by the way. His name is Sam Mitchell, and he always has it says, "Don't be stupid."
Exactly.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so
Keep it
much.
simple.
I'll keep it simple.
All right.
Thank you so much.
So much.
Thank you so much. Miss that. It was such a pleasure. Thank you so much, guys. And I gotta again, thank you guys so much again, man. That was very, very informative. Very good. We got some more people that are supposed to be coming. Melinda Shealy from the Spirit of Sheridan is supposed to be joining me later. Because this is the time, and I think that went really well. Again, we are broadcasting live from the Wimberley Center. And again, shout out to some of the vendors. I think I did it to shout it out to all the vendors so far, but we're going to go through it again. Again, we got grilling and chilling in the building. And like I said, they're cooking. Whatever it is that they're cooking, it really smells nice over there. It really smells good over there. I am getting hungry. And then we have Zanzan again. It's not an Asian cuisine, but it's sort of like some kind of, I guess you would call it a health drink or something like that. And we have Doria Diva. She's doing face painting over here in balloons. She's making animals out of balloons too. Again, her name is Dora Devia. Dora D. Devia. That's it. And of course, like we just had the interview with the Barrow County DMs, people who are in charge of the Barrow County DMs. And again, they're registering people to vote. If you have not registered to vote, this would be a great time for you to come out. And again, it doesn't matter if you're voting Democrat or Republican or Independent. It's a great way to come out here. Like I said, if you're not registered to vote, come register to vote. If you don't know if you're registered to vote, find out your status. And if anything's changed, because I think they said earlier in the podcast, they did say something to the fact that somebody has indeed found out that some things had changed and that they weren't quite registered to where they voted had changed and they had no idea. So it's a good time to come out, and like I say, they got a lot of vendors out here, food, and for the majority, I think it's free. And again, this is being put on by Michelle Yarn, director of the Winder Housing Authority, with communicate in cahoots with Wembley Roots. It's collaborative. All the residences that are here in the Wembley Center. Boys and Girls Club are being represented here. Again, like I said, a group that I'm with, the Rural Women in Action, they're here. And it's just it's a great outreach that's going on back here. So would love for you to come out. I don't know where my other interview is. Hopefully she'll be here soon. If not, I'm gonna have to cut the broadcast and then come back to you guys later. But again, here at the Wimbledon, still hadn't seen my friend Reggie. He hasn't shown up yet. In the live chat or anything like that, but would love for him to. And I have not seen him. And again, this is something that we're trying different. We're broadcasting live on two platforms. We're broadcasting live on the my YouTube channel, which is that right now is a little bit over 8,500 subscribers. And again, I'm broadcasting live, and simultaneously I'm broadcasting live on Facebook, trying to get both those algorithms to work in my favor. Again, like I said, we're trying to get back to the money. So I'll just keep talking here. Shout out to him, and I don't see anybody in the chat. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, now we got the chat live. We're going to get the chat live. How does it says, what has Kamala Harris done in 3 years? Just a good question. Right, hook me up, brother. Whoever Brutal Impact is, I have no idea who Brutal Impact is. But he was on early, and I'm just not getting to these chats, and I do apologize. And again, old Texas Tech man says, what has Kamala done for the last 3 years? Good question, sir. But I could not tell you, which I don't know. She hasn't done anything for you. So again, people feel how they feel, and there's nothing wrong with that. What's this old Texas Tech man? Trump Vance 2020. Nothing wrong with that. Dr. Kamala Harris. I don't know who she is. But again, Brutal Impact, I don't have no idea what you're talking about. But anyway, that's what we see in the live chat, and I don't think we have anybody else. So yes, I'm waiting on a Melinda Shealy. If anybody's looking at this Facebook Live, And if anybody's in the Wembley Root Center looking for it, because she's supposed to, I know she has at some point she's supposed to be at 11. I know she's supposed to be at 12. They're having a cooking contest here at the Wembley Root Center, having chef and everything. So, with that being said, I'm going to have to go ahead and end this live, and I will probably be back in about another 20 minutes because she was supposed to be here. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. And like I said, I will be right back. We are broadcasting live from the Wembley Center. This is your boy Sam Hutchins from the It's a Wrap with Reggie and Sam podcast, broadcasting live. Thank you, ma'am.
This is cars. Just got this number right here at the bottom, the 760. Is my personal.
Okay. All right, Bishop. Thank you so much again.
Thank
This is
you.
great. You're welcome.
Look
I
forward
really.
to hearing
Oh,
from
you
you.
most definitely will. Wish I did. I loved our conversation.
Me too. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh huh.
But when I get home, my daughter-in-law, she does salad. My daughter-in-law goes down, my daughter. And these are the sizes, like, what do you mail them?
I think you did.
Oh, nice.
Ah, there you go. All right, we are back, broadcasting live. I'm gonna get my YouTube going here. We're broadcasting simultaneously on YouTube and Facebook.
You need stuff.
All righty. All right, again, here with me again is my very good friend, my sister in arms, as I like to call her, because we are both in this state together, really about our community, serving and helping whenever and however we can. Is again Miss Melinda Shealy,
And the crowd goes
and the crowd
wild.
goes wild. Again, this is Sam Hutchins from the It's a Rap with Reggie Sam podcast, flying solo today. My guy Reggie has not shown up yet. I don't know where you are, Reggie, but I'm putting you out there on blast. Yes, I am. Anyway, we are broadcasting live here from the Wembley Center. This is this is an event. It's a community event that's been put on by like I said, the residency, the people who have offices here, who actually run businesses out of the Wembley Center, in collaboration with the Spirit of Sharing, which is headed by my good friend Melinda Shealy. And what's the other one? The SOS? Which one? What's that?
SOS Youth Action Team.
SOS Youth Action Team. Absolutely. I just finished up a riveting interview with the Barrow County Dems, and like I say, it's a great opportunity to come out. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent, butcher, baker, candlestick maker, whatever. If you need to come out here and check your voting status, find out if you're registered, find out if your voting status is active, find out if your voting precinct is gone, has been changed, or if you haven't registered, it's time to get ready.
It's ended up being a really good story, but he wanted to learn how to cook. And so he's the one that came up with the name for the cooking class, Cook Food Not Meth, because
Wow.
that's what his family was doing.
Wow.
And so, and that's a powerful thing. And from that cooking class that we have monthly over here at Wembley Roots, the kids have another family. It not only do they have a family, they're each other's support system. They're learning basic life skills,
Yeah.
and the team building. They work with people of different races, religions, just backgrounds, different cultures. And so, not only they're learning how to cook, but they have a built-in family, and it's like a really good time. So today they're doing a cooking demo at noon. And it's the first time they do cooking class all the time, but it's the first time that they have done a demo at an event like this. So they're nervous and excited, but they realize it's a big deal.
That's good. And getting back to that young man coming up with that, Melinda, that really speaks to the character of that young man too.
Yes.
Because when you take
Plans the menu, and he's the chef, and so the kids just cook. Right there, they have a good time, and
Yeah.
the adults that bring them,
Yeah.
they get fed afterwards. So the youth not only cook, then they feed the adults,
wow.
and then they clean up. So it's like a really good time. And so now these adults who probably wouldn't have met, each other,
Yeah.
now they have another support system. So they sit there and watch the kids cook. Sometimes they talk. they begin to volunteer. It's like one big family reunion once a month over here at Wembley Roots because of the cooking class.
And see, that's something I did. I've been here all this time, and Melinda had no idea that this was going on. And that's why events like this are really important to because and I meant to put it up in a poll question, but I guess it's a little bit too late for me to do that now. I was going, and then one of the questions that I was going to propose to my audience as well was how closely connected is your community, or you to your community, and how close is your community connected to you? I thought that would have been a great question to generate some kind of conversation. So because of course me being me, I forgot to do it. But anyway, let me pose that question to you. How close is this community connected? I mean, this connected to this community.
You know what? I have been the director of student sharing for 5 years, but it was just trying to rebrand and rebuild the vision that Mr. Albert Johnson had.
Yeah.
This community, they have hope now because we are over here. We're showing them that we're saying we're here to help.
Yeah.
And I went to school here when it was Rondeberry Middle School, so this community has been near and dear to my heart. And for a long time, it's had a bad reputation. But we're here to say this is a great community. Great people live in it.
Yeah.
There are great organizations around here. And the people that live around here, we all help each other. They help me, and I assist them in whatever way. And we just build a very welcoming environment around this whole community. And it's vital. This whole county helps us in what we do. The nonprofits here.
Yeah,
We all
absolutely.
help each
Yeah,
other. We give people hope. We give people love.
Absolutely, and that's the one thing that you can give as much as you want to. That it doesn't cost you nothing. It's all just about an effort. And I agree with you. And I went to first grade here.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was. This was back during with segregation and all. I went to first grade here, second grade here, and then
That's it.
that is at the core of whatever it is she does. She just wants to help, and she's always worried about not doing enough. When she winds up doing too much, and she's and I hope to have her on too. And again, I would like to shout out to Miss Michelle Yon too. When you guys put this together, what was the vision? What is it that you wanted people to walk away and say when they left this event today?
First of all,
Okay.
this event, it turned into an event. At first, we
Okay.
were just going to bring people together only to count pollinators, the bees, the different type bees that I didn't know existed, like carpenter bees, bumblebees.
Stung by a bee. That's all I know. That was the only bee.
And so, in talking, it's like, why don't we turn this into a community event? Do more than just showcasing Wembley Roots and, the cooking demo.
Yeah.
Let's invite vendors. Let's turn this into something positive for the community. A learning environment.
Yeah.
Bring people from all over together that love, the community and want to just enhance it. So the vision really started counting pollinators and
Cross-pollination and all this
and
stuff.
make sure, because that's what we need, the bees and everything, so we can continue to have gardens and produce and all of that.
And people don't understand how vital they are to the ecosystem.
Yes, and the more pollinators you have, that means that your soil is healthy. You have a healthy environment. And if you have a healthy environment for the bees, that means it's a healthy environment for us.
For us as well.
For us all
Absolutely.
pollinators. So it started as that, and then it just we started thinking about how we can turn it into something positive that more people can be involved with, and bring families and friends together. And something that won't cost you a thing except your time to get
Your
out
effort.
there.
It's just a little bit effort.
So that was the thought. Just bringing people together and let them experience something that they may not have ever experienced before.
Okay, let me ask you on the bee pollinator. You may not know this because I may have to go and ask you myself. Is it possible for us to see the bees actually making the honey out there, or did they just bring some honey that
They
the
just
bees
brought
made?
some honey. Like when you see it out there, you might be able to see a few little, like how the honey starts to form.
Yeah. And the honeycombs.
And the comb or whatever. But that's a fascinating process in itself. I've seen that, and it's like, wow.
Man, so actually, so this thing is kind of an educational opportunity for people too to learn something you didn't know, because it's a lot of great grilling and chilling out there. The only reason I'm afraid of them, I cannot stand spicy food at all.
Listen,
But I'm saying, I saw a lady walking away from that table doing this, and I'm like, oh, that ain't for me.
I don't know what she had, the reason she was doing it, but
Yeah.
thing that I tasted was not. Oh my gosh, the
It
great
was.
seasoning that they have
Yeah.
with the chicken. Are you kidding me? I'm running off with all the seasonings. That chicken, the pork,
Rick,
and even the corn. Come on now.
corn?
It may have been hot. It may have been like the corn was hot because it's like hot, but it's
Yeah.
not seasoned hot. There's
Okay.
not anything spicy, but the food is hot. I'm telling you,
I gotta
I
try
almost
it.
got a meal.
Yeah, so you pulled the old Al Bundy stunt, just
Yes, I
walking
sure
through,
did.
walking through.
Yes.
Was it Kroger where they get samples?
Honey, I thought it was Sam's during the holidays.
There you go. Sam's does that too.
Sam's during the holidays. All of some sampling and a going. Some chicken, some pork, and the corn.
Wow.
That seasoning.
That's yeah, but I get it smells heavy, and I'm right here behind the stage, but it's not blocking out. It's blocking out the sound, but it ain't blocking out that smell. It smells great. Now I am hungry.
No, you need to go.
I'll try. I'll try that.
Try it.
I'll try it. On your word, I'll try it. And like I said, it better not be spicy. I cannot
No,
stand
it's
spicy
not
food.
spicy. And what I love about it, they rent the commercial kitchen over here.
Okay.
So their spices and stuff, they prepare everything over here in the commercial kitchen.
I did not know that.
And so it is great. It's probably about 24 other small businesses that could not, really be profitable if they did not have a place over here. You have to have your certain license.
Yeah,
and things
absolutely.
like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's great for the small business owner.
So they can come
So
cook
they
their
can come
food
over,
here.
they can come over here and prepare their spices, their rubs, and different things like that to go sell elsewhere.
Wow. So I know you mentioned that you had some kind of. Do you know what type of license they have to have before they
No,
they
but
can do that?
from the USDA and the health department. There's
Okay, because
But,
I did see
yes.
something on the door that if you're not licensed, yada yada, you can't use
Yes.
this kitchen, which is
Yeah, because we have a commercial kitchen and a demo kitchen.
wow. Okay,
And so, with
so the demo kitchen,
you have to have like your safe serve certifications and different things like that. But to use the commercial kitchen, you
yeah,
have
it's
to
that's
go
a
on
whole
up
different
there.
entity altogether.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fair enough. But again, this is a great event. And you guys got to be shout out to you, pat on the back to you guys. And like I said, I'm here representing Rural Women in Action. Shout out to Miss Tammy Kinney, who's traveling, but I came to represent the organization. And again, shout out to her for asking me to be a part of it because I have really enjoyed myself. I had a great time. I mean, it's just, and I wish that my fellow Glenwood Terrace people would come on out here too. It's something for you guys out here too, and it's within walking distance. And like I said, this is your neighborhood. This is where you're from. So come represent. And like I say, it's free. I mean, basically, everything is free. I meant to ask that lady for a T-shirt though. I buy it, but I wanted to once she had a cool T-shirt. I buy, but I will indeed buy it. But and tell us about what the Spirit of Sharing. What's coming up with the Spirit of Sharing? I know you got your big event. Is that
Share the blessing.
Share the Blessing? Tell us a little bit about that.
Share the Blessing, it is a big event. This year is going to be held on Christmas Eve at Wanda Barrow High School from 11 to 2. The volunteers start getting there at 6 a.m.
Okay.
We start setting everything up. We start cooking the food, different things like that. And so it's a free event for the community. People come in, get a hot meal. First, we start off with an opening program, a devotion. Then you get a hot meal. You can get a big box of food like you would get from a food distribution.
From food bank, okay.
We have people delivering food out into the communities for people that can't get to us. You get free clothing. We have a clothes closet. It's not even, I don't call it barber services anymore. Like you can get haircuts. Men and women can come, different things like that. We give away books, we give away toys. Last year, the Grinch made an appearance and came out and take pictures with the Grinch, and the Grinch was a big hit.
How many children were afraid of the Grinch?
You know what? Not one child. We had adults afraid of the Grinch.
I think this is that they want to volunteer. Is there a deadline or something?
We're going to send out the registration link and everything like October 1st. By October 1st, everything is going out. It could be, September, but just by October 1st, the registration link, the volunteer will be out, and there'll be different jobs. If you just want to be prepping behind the scenes and you don't want to volunteer.
Two, because work wouldn't permit me to rent to do the other, but I did attend two. And Melinda, you guys do a great job over there of coordinating this out because everything runs like it runs smooth, and it may be hiccups that we can't see, but It looks like it runs so smooth. I said, this is
Oh
a really,
yes,
really
yes.
well coordinated event, and I have my hats off to you for doing
It
that.
it is something. I want you to know that event. I came in year three. My boys were young,
Yeah,
and Mr. Albert. So that's like one of our favorite events. And so when your sons grow up doing it, who are now grown, and we've been
yeah.
doing it for so long, and the community just loves it, And so the core group is still together. The core group is still together, and we've been adding people to it, to
That
the
is that
core group and
strong,
the committee, so we can continue to go on and thrive.
that strong
And we,
foundation.
yes, and we add new people to it, each year and stuff. But we just chunk it off. Have really great people that's in charge of different sections.
Don't require a lot of volunteers,
Right.
but I do get requests from people. Well, not I guess you can call them requests. People ask me, say, "Do you have any volunteer opportunities?"
Yeah.
And it may be we only have like one or two, but I was going to start channeling them to you because, especially around
Yes.
Christmas time, for whatever reason, that's when I seem to get the most. Yeah, do you have any
Yeah.
volunteers? So that's why the reason I was asking that so I could go ahead and channel them to you
Yes.
because your type of event could I think could really
Oh
benefit from
yeah,
that.
people can start volunteering to help us with stuff in October because
Yeah.
it takes a lot to process the donations. Because donations come in for share the blessing strictly, but
Yeah.
then they come in to Spirit of Sharing for us to run Spirit of Sharing, whether it's clothes or toys and household items. So October, November, and December is
Just so
just
crazy,
crazy busy.
just crazy. Yeah,
The ED over Winder Housing.
yeah.
For years, we have talked about what we could do. How can we help the homeless? How can we get a shower? And when I tell you, we talked about bringing in a mobile shower. Well, last year, Win Hill said, Melinda, do you have a space for a shower? The Benevolence Ministries has money. And I said, I have the perfect space. It's in our office, and it's beside the bathroom. And we had used that space to put a copier in at one point, a storage. It had held a freezer, a refrigerator. I said that would be perfect. And I talked to Michelle Yon. She
Yeah.
said, "Oh my gosh, Melinda, go for it." And so she tossed it to me and the head of maintenance over here at Winder Housing,
Yeah.
and the person at the Benevolence Ministries, Keith Caldwell. We met about it.
Oh,
We
I
figured
know
it
Keith.
out.
I know
We
Keith.
figured everything out and got everything HUD approved. And they started on it in February, and then we were able to open it up in April. We had a ribbon cutting, invited the community out, the chamber, the newspaper, and people from all walks of life came. So April 12th of this year, the shower for the homeless opened. But my youth action team members said, can we just not call it the shower for the homeless? They named it Shower of Blessings.
Oh, I love that.
Shower of Blessings.
I love that.
And so,
I love that. And
yes, it's been a blessing.
I know it has. It really has. And I learned from a friend of mine. Shout out to Dana Curitan about because she does a lot of work with
Yes.
misplaced people. She taught me not to call them homeless, just say misplaced. And she does a lot of work with. Shout out to you, Dana, for what you do, and for them to come up with that. I mean, I love it. I love that because one of the things I was talking to in the interview that I did before we were talking about all need to understand that at the end of the day we're all in the same condition.
That's true. That,
And we're all in
thank
the same
you.
condition. Well,
Thank
a lot of people
That's
think
true.
they're isolated because they got this amount of money or because they live over here. But like I say, one thing about COVID, it taught us,
It taught
taught us
us,
that
yes, it
we
did.
are all in the
Yes,
same
it did.
condition.
That is
That
true.
we were all in the same condition. Well, Melinda, I know you got to judge a cooking contest or something of that nature, or you may be late. But anyway, I,
Listen, I texted them and said where I am. I text, just go on without me. Start that cooking demo. They don't need me. You know what?
yeah.
My oldest son, he's the chef, and when it comes to the cooking classes, he said, "You may be my mother, but in the kitchen, I'm the
Oh, I'm
chef."
boss. Oh, I'm boss.
I
Let me tell
stayed
you,
in my
what made him want to become a chef?
My mom.
That's an interesting journey in itself, because it's
My mother, with each one of my sons, I have three. He's the oldest. When
Yeah.
they all turned 5 years old, she would get them in the kitchen, and my sister would make chef hats and aprons for them. and they would outgrow them. But all three of them know how to cook. But Trent was always with mom in the kitchen, and he loved it. He loved everything about cooking.
Wow.
Yes. And so he just took it on, and he thought that we wanted him to have what people call the doctor, lawyer, the white collar career.
Yeah.
I've always told the boys, do what you love. And so eventually it took him a minute to say, I want to cook and own it. And so he worked in like different restaurants and stuff, but not until he started working at Bistro Off Broad and was under great chefs
Yeah.
and help him get license and certifications and stuff. And so he can cook, fine dining down to, like we called it green eggs and French toast.
I would love to see that
And that was
because
cooking class.
that's because my
Yeah.
name is Sam, and I cannot tell you how Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. Followed me all the way through high school.
He cooked in March.
Yeah.
We celebrated Dr. Seuss, and they cooked green eggs and ham and French toast. And he had him make a glaze for the ham, a peach glaze, brown sugar,
Oh,
peach. Yes,
Melinda, stop.
those kids make tomato bisque soup. They know how to debone chicken. And so
You were
I
Vanna
said,
White.
yes, I was working. And
Yeah.
Chef Trent was one of the live auction items. So for a cooking class of 8 over here at Wibbly Roots,
Yeah.
you could bid on it. The starting bid was $500. Don't you know that went for $1,800, and all $1,800 goes to Peace Place.
Wow, that
All
is
$1,800.
that is amazing.
Isn't that something?
That
And
that
so,
is utterly
The
amazing.
person that won.
But I think it's the experience.
It
Is
is.
that what people talk about? Because I never had it, and I'm just gathering information. I got married last year. Well, a little over a year ago. I got married, and I'm trying to do. So I want to do something romantic for my wife, and I thought that would be something great. And I guess it's not a surprise now since I said it online.
But it'll be surprised when it happens.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
And so he goes into people's homes and does stuff like that. And then over he'll do it.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. If you don't want to.
And I would have been happy because because you're doing something that you love.
That's it. That's what I've always said.
And I admire people who live that dream and you instill it, because that's what I used to tell my son is I don't care if you're hanging off the back of a trash truck, as long as you're happy. I want you to be happy. Just be happy doing it. Don't do that.
Yeah, with Trent being his size, people really, you should be an athlete. When you're a certain size, people want to stereotype you and put you.
Oh, absolutely. My son Xavier is 6'4", 338 pounds. And people are, man, he was making awesome offensive lineman. But I tell people that Xavier is exactly who he's supposed to be. He's helping us in this journey with autism, to showing people, bringing them. He's exactly what he is supposed to be. But yeah, a lot of it's like you said, they'll stereotype him. Because I remember when I went to buy him shoes, he's always been big for his size. Real quick story, and I went to buy him some shoes. This was when Foot Locker was down there, and Xavier was 4, but he was wearing like he was an 8-year-old shoe.
That's Trent.
And that guy was like,
Yes.
and I said, that's the most active 4-year-old. That guy looked at me and said, "What did you say?" I said, he said, "That kid's 4." I said, "Yeah, he's 4." "Are you serious?" I said, "Yeah, he's 4." So I understand when you talk about what they wanted to stereotype him, but hats off to him for living that dream. But those chef coats are cool too. They could be a fashion statement. Yeah.
He has a few of them and he loves them.
Yeah.
And I wish he would wear he has on some chili pepper chef pants.
I saw that.
Those pants. And those are his favorites, and they're his good luck ones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you wear the newer ones? He was like, but these are my good luck. This is the first demo with my youth action team, and this is their very first cooking demo in front of people and really teaching other people how to do it. They usually are learning themselves, and other people are watching, but it's no pressure. And so those are his lucky chili.
So he's really nervous about it.
And because it's a big deal, he sees it's like he's nervous for his kids.
Okay.
What he
Yeah,
calls his
okay.
kids. He's nervous for his kids, and he realizes it's a big deal for them, and he realizes it's a big deal for him to be asked to do that. and have the approval of the ED of Winder House and Michelle Young,
Yeah.
who's over this whole
Executive,
Wembley
yeah,
Center,
the
and
host,
Miss
yeah.
Suzanne with Wembley. And
Yeah,
he's like,
and
this is
he's humbled and honored by the whole thing is
he
what it is,
is.
and that just again speaks to who he is, his character and stuff
And
like
he
that.
says
Because
this,
he is right. It's no small.
it is growing.
Okay.
I have to, because we have to cap it out about 15 students.
Okay.
And we have our core group that comes, but, you just have to contact me as Spirit of Sharing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll give you that info. You
Please,
know how to get in contact with me,
absolutely give me
because
that.
that's why we don't really publicize, and because it's growing. Because we can, if we publicize it, then
But you're not set up
we're
for the
not
growth.
set up for the growth yet.
You're not ready to say
know,
yeah, and
because-
that's
that's the thing. So right now, we have our core group, and they're still learning, and they can do a whole lot of stuff. But Trent is training them to be sous chefs.
okay. Now what is that?
And
Explain that to me. What is a sous
So a
chef?
sous chef works under the executive chef. And so if the executive chef isn't there, the sous chef can run the kitchen, they can cook the food, and they can do what the chef does. So, really maintaining and preparing the food as well. So you have sous chefs.
So that's like an
Right
apprenticeship.
under the apprenticeship.
Okay.
And so, so you have executive chef and the sous chef. And so Trent calls them their sous chefs in training because they were junior chefs when they started.
Yeah.
So the ones that's been in the program over a year, now they're like junior sous chefs, and they are so good.
And the fruit from that thing is going to be when somebody goes and becomes a chef.
Yes.
And you're in a direct pathway. Chefs make a lot of money.
They do.
People don't understand. I mean, you can make, but again, I think it's the ones who really love it.
Yes.
And like I said, that experience that for having a chef cook for you. So I keep that under my hat because it's like I said, I just thought that would be great.
Ask about it, but still, and our youngest is 5 years old. 5.
And he's in the kitchen now. So he's in the kitchen.
Just like up in the steps, just as cute as he want to be, chopping and dicing.
And see, and here I was thinking I was doing something. When I was 8, I was washing dishes. So I thought that was this guy's 5 years old and cooking. I ain't doing nothing at me and Reggie.
Oh yeah, I'm having a great time with it too.
Oh man, I love it. And again, this outreach, this thing is. And how long is this going on?
Until 2 o'clock.
Till 2 o'clock. Gotta have. If you listen, if you're listening to this, like I said, I'm broadcasting live on YouTube, my YouTube channel, trying to get that algorithm up, and I'm broadcasting live from Facebook Live at the same time. If you're in the area, please, ma'am, please, sir, come on out here. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. And this is a lady out here making animals out of balloons.
Yes.
She actually made a bee. I have never seen that. She made a bee.
I have never seen anyone make a bee.
I was like,
I was impressed. Yeah, it's a good time.
Yes, well, come on out, and I'm gonna try to have Suzanne if I can find her. You know where she is?
I just saw her come. She is headed towards the demo kitchen.
It's toward the demo
Where
kitchen.
I'm headed.
Okay.
She's got a whole thing of Cokes. Pushing them towards the demo kitchen.
Well, tell Suzanne to bring me one of those Cokes and tell her to come on because it's her time. It's time for her to come on.
It is. I will.
All right, and again, this is before you go. Is there anything you want the people to know about anything that you got coming up? Oh, and by the way, you're a new radio personality here too.
Yes.
On the so tell them a little bit about that.
On WJBB, it's 107.1 FM. The radio station is here in Bethlehem, and I just started July 24th. I'm on 7 to 9 a.m. on the Rude Awakening with Christopher Rude.
All right.
Fun time.
All right then. And again, Melinda, as always, enjoy the conversation. Thank you so much. Look forward to working with you again, my sister in arms. Trying to make this community grow, trying to make this community great. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again, send Miss Suzanne in
I'll
here
send
and we'll
Miss
be ready.
Suzanne.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye. Yeah, again, ladies and gentlemen, that was Miss Melinda Westbrook Sheely. Really good friend of mine, really great activist in the community does a lot for the people. Great heart. And when you talk about God puts you where you're supposed to be, he most definitely did that when he put her with the Spirit of Sharing and the thing that she does live action. Hello, Rolando Sue. How are you doing? I'm sorry. I cannot pronounce some of these names. Ahmet, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. And I think who else have we got? Hi, men. Good to see you. These are my subscribers, and I hope you guys, if you want to like, share, and subscribe. We're still trying to get this algorithm up. We've got like a little over 800 and 8,530 something subscribers. We're trying to get to that magical number. Of course, everything we're trying to get to 10. We want to get to 10,000 by say Labor Day. If we can get to 10,000 by Labor Day, guys, continue with this growth. I want to really appreciate everybody that's chimed in and been on, that's came on and helped supported this channel. We're in our fourth year. We've really seen a significant growth in the last say year and a half, 2 years. A lot of hard work been going on behind the scenes and just trying to make this thing do what it do. Again, we call ourselves we don't call ourselves, we are the podcast for the people. And if anybody would like to come on, if you have an idea for a show, we've got some upcoming shows that we've got to get scheduled. Some we had to reschedule a couple of times. Shout out to Lisa Ann Parks and her movement and what she's doing down there in the Monroe area. Shout out to her, and I always want to lend support and give shout outs. You guys in that area, please, fam, please, sir, support what it is that she is doing. And like I say, of course, locally, and like I say, if you're going to come on and be a guest, by all means, send us an email at it's a wrap with Reggie and Sam at gmail.com. It's a wrap pod 19 Gmail, or you can just inbox us or reach us on our Facebook page. You can reach me through my Facebook page. I've got like 5. There's the Hope for Xavier Foundation, Sam Hutchins, and my personal, which is my life coaching website page. Dream Out Loud 2000, and of course the Hope for Xavier Foundation. Please, ma'am, please, sir, if you have a mind, if you have one, please come on. We would love to have you on. If you got something you want to say, you got something that's of interest to you, or just an interest to people in your community, by all means, come on. We would love to have you. Again, I'm broadcasting live from the Wembley Center here in Winder, Georgia. There's a event, community events that's become, it's more like a community outreach. You got a lot of vendors in here cooking, baked goods, home goods, wreaths, home crafts, and things like that. They're going to be here till like 2 o'clock. So if you have a mind, or if you got time, just come on out and meet and greet some of the people. Again, this has been put on by the executive director, Miss Michelle Yon, who maybe or maybe not be able to get her on. And again, I'm here on behalf of Miss Tammy Kinney, who is the executive director of Rural Women in Action. To learn more about that, we do have a website. It's called ruralwomeninaction.com or .org. I think it's ruralwomeninaction.org. Go on there and learn more about that organization and what it does. And of course, I'm always representing the Hope for Xavier Foundation, which is autism awareness, that started and inspired by my son Xavier Duran Hutchins. So you guys want to come on out? It is really, like I say, it's a free event. A lot of good stuff out here, a lot of good information, opportunities. We got MedLink in the building. We got the Barrow County Dems. Again, they're not just registering Democrats; they're registering everybody. Because, like I said, everybody that wants to vote, everybody that wants to register, everybody wants to check their voting status. If you want to check where you're supposed to be polling, where you're supposed to be casting your vote, they got information about early registration. Early voting, voter registration deadlines, and any kind of other question that you may have. This is the place to be if you want that. And again, thank you guys. Probably 10 minutes. She would be my last interview.
Now what? Don't go in there. He's outside. Or he was out front. He was out front where the library truck is.
And you can put it in your, you can put it in your, yeah, so just go to the extension office, University of Georgia, and that will help you. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do not, but they make no something.
Here.
They make a lot of homemade stuff.
Before you guys got busy packing up. I think a mango. Mango in my
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
We're so busy.
That's okay. Hey, no problem.
And we met one of those guys too that remembered his jail
Oh yeah.
at the cemetery.
It Ricky Shoemaker.
I don't know what his name is, but he said that he remembered two wheelchairs. He said, well, I got one on the stage over
Yep, that was Ricky Shoemaker. I said it was his man right there, English. This is great. I've got some fancy news. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And with me, let me get my YouTube going back here again. Miss Suzanne, I'm going to have you as I get my YouTube going back here. It most definitely will. All right, we are live. And there you are. Okay, slide you over. You are more than welcome. Yes. Got my YouTube going back. Now we're back live again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again. Again, this is your guy Sam Hutchins from the It's a Wrap with Reggie and Sam podcast, the podcast of the people. We are broadcasting live here from the Wembley Center with a community outreach event that is going on. And one of the wheels that make it turn is I'm going to let you introduce yourself and tell them who you are and what it is you do here.
Okay, hi, my name is Suzanne. I actually started out here as a volunteer at Adventure Bags, and then I discovered Wimberley Roots, which is the community gardening kitchen, and like I helped in their kitchen classes. And then I got an opportunity to come on here part-time in March, and as of 2 weeks ago, I am officially Community Outreach Coordinator.
Woo! What's that, man? What's that like? What's that like?
It's very busy. You know, part of the joys is being able to plan an event like this.
Yeah.
I'm getting involved with our commercial kitchen users. I've been at schools, I've been networking, and just letting everybody know about the Wimberley Center, the mission of Wimberley's Roots, which is, you know, although this is fun, it is a serious matter.
Yeah.
Is to fight food insecurity. We have probably in the county 1 out of every 11 people that you meet do not know where their next meal is coming from. And from a health perspective, it's up to 18% for people with diabetic or health-related problems due to less than good eating habits, which a lot of times just has to do with the accessibility of food.
Yes, the dietary deficiencies that are in people's diets. I completely understand that. So when an event like this takes place, and my hats off to you, by the way, this has been a well-attended And the variety of vendors here is kind of speaks to the fabric of the community. You got a lot of good people here, a lot of information that people did not know. And I'm still interested about those bees. Got to understand. God, the other thing I know, because Melinda was talking about earlier, Melinda from Spirit of Sharing, her and I were talking about, the bee pollination. You could actually see the honey dripping off of the cones out there. I got to go witness that. And we were talking about, the only thing I know, I've heard about cross pollination. I have no idea what that is, but I'm anxious to. And like grilling and chilling out there, like I was telling her, they smell amazing. Like I said, sound like they have good no sound, but that smell came right on through. And when you put together an event such as this, what is your goal? What do you want people to say when they walk away from it? Like, okay, this event goes on until 2 a.m. I mean 2 a.m. 2 to 2 p.m. When people walk out of here at 2 o'clock and they're getting in their car and riding home, what is the conversation that you want them to be having about this event?
I want them first of all to say, "Whoa, that's what was in that building," because a lot of people don't know. On a community-wide event, I
Yeah.
really want them to understand pollinators, to take part, be a scientist, and to understand pollinators basically take messages from one flower to another flower.
Wow. And
Okay?
and I know a lot of people who they kind of look at environment and an environmentalist and people like that as not necessary, but what bees do and what all the animals do is very important to our ecosystem. Am I correct in saying something
You are
like that?
exactly right. What they do is they carry pollen.
What's going on, PJ?
They carry pollen from one flower to another. Things like squash, blueberries, all of those things that start out as flowers. If they don't have pollination, they don't grow into fruit.
Wow. So you can't even say they down the vine because they don't even make it to the vine if that doesn't happen.
You got it. And that's the essential. And when you have a good pollinator count, you know what kind of pollinators are in your area. It has a direct effect on how healthy is your environment.
Yeah. Okay.
And so that's the basis of this. And everything else was free and fun, and it's amazing. It started literally at a table with Lydia and Michelle.
Yeah.
And Michelle just saying, "Let's do the count again." And this is what has happened.
Okay. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on here at the Wembley Center that people don't realize. It's just a lot of small businesses in here, a lot of organizations. Such as the one that I belong to, like Rural Women in Action. Tammy Kinney, she's a part of something called AHF too, which is about HIV testing and all that good stuff. But servicing the rural and underserved area is her mission, is her passion, and which I'm glad to be a part of. And we share an office here in the Wembley Center too, and it's a great place. And meeting and when I met you, again, it was a blessing because we only had two conversations, but they've been for real conversations that have really helped me and blessed me. And I guess I wanted to ask you, where does that passion to help people come from you? Because it is so genuine and it resonates with people's soul. Because everybody that I talk to about Suzanne, they talk about your heart, your spirit. Where does that come from?
I think it comes from my parents. My whole family has all been involved in volunteerism. My mom used to be a brownie leader. My dad always made time outside of the military to serve. I always did something volunteer. Everything from the Olympics to radio announcing. Both my kids volunteer. My son works down at the farm. My daughter does stuff with her kids in Lula. Overall, though, I live in the community. I live up the street from here.
Okay.
I can walk to the Wembley Center. How healthy my neighbors are, how healthy my neighborhood is, how safe people feel, has a direct input on me in a selfish way. But in an overall, I care about people in this area. I think that's my greatest driven passion. These are my neighbors. They're not just people that I see in statistics. These are real people with real needs.
Yeah.
To let you know, everybody here in the Wembley Center, and they're all organizations. There
Right.
are no businesses. The only
Right. I'm sorry.
businesses,
I misspoke.
no,
Yeah. No.
the only businesses that operate out of here are our commercial kitchen users. They're all people that use that, and they make stuff like grilling and chilling. We've got chimichurri sauce going on. You can probably smell it.
Oh, I can. Absolutely.
We've got seasoning from Skillet Provisions going on the popcorn down there. So they are all local people that had a dream to start a business. And we're USDA certified, so we're not for food trucks or caterers.
Yeah.
But we're all for the people that grow, that live in this area. We have the tea vendor out there, Zan. They make their tea.
Yeah,
there.
that's what I was telling. Tell us a little bit about Zan because I couldn't quite explain it to him because I got to go back out there and try. I told him I'd come back and try because that mango looks great.
We have another company that does juices. I'm new to the commercial kitchen. I've really not done the users until the last 2 weeks, so I'm still learning them all. But I know that they do make bubble teas and
Now,
other
what is
products.
bubble tea? What is bubble tea?
Bubble tea has those little
Because that's
pearls.
what she kept saying.
I know. Bubble teas have those little pearls. They're like little pearls, like Jello, with the
Okay.
liquid inside.
Yeah.
And you drop them in the tea. My granddaughter loves it. I had it once, but that's what bubble tea is. It has little bitty, they're kind of jelly-like things.
Yeah.
It's an Oriental thing. It's kind of migrated. There's a lot of bubble tea places out there, but that is what that. But she puts all the ingredients too. Of course, she's food safe. It's a commercial kitchen. She's a food service manager, and then she packages it up. She sells it at events like this. Some of our vendors, like chimichurri, they will sell them to smaller stores.
Yeah.
Some of them are at the farmers market, but it's really interesting. Everything is here, so it's really cool that what you like is made on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
And we're keeping it, the transport was nothing, and everybody profited.
Cool. So I got one more question I have to ask when she asked about when she was telling me what is the nutritional value of that, or is there any, or it just tastes good?
It tastes good. I can tell you that it's probably
Yeah.
not. I mean, it comes in all flavors when I've had it. You can get it with minimal sugar.
Yeah.
It really depends. I have not looked at her labels, but it depends on what's in it. But I can tell you that if it tastes fresh,
Yeah.
our juice, Sue's Poo Garden, she wasn't able to be here, but she
Yeah.
literally goes in there and you can see the pineapples and everything that she's grinding up there.
Okay.
So I can tell you from what I've seen, there's not a lot of chemicals coming through there. There's not a lot of additives, and all of these vendors are very set to make something fresh, free, as chemical free.
Was that GMO free?
Yes.
I heard a lot of them,
Yeah.
and when it comes, if you're talking about healthy eating, that's where you can start. But looking at those packaging that has that on there, GMO free, that is.
And that brings up another thing about pollinators and
Yeah.
how important they are. Say, for example, they're on the blueberry bush when they flower.
Yeah.
They are like a little thing, and there is a special bee that pollinates blueberry bushes. And he literally goes inside the thing and does this wiggle and shakes the pollen out.
How do bees know to do that?
I don't know.
Isn't that one of the mysteries a lot? You wonder about because obviously they don't get paid for it. But it's what they do.
And getting to the point again,
Yeah.
Okay, you got a blueberry bush. You can put all the whatever chemicals you want, and you might get good, bad
Yeah.
blueberries. But you got to wonder what made them grow so big. Well, you know, if that little natural bee goes in there and shakes it up and moves that pollen, and you have a big old bush.
That's what made it happen.
That's the way things are meant
So it's
to
not
be grown.
artificial.
You got it.
And it gets back to the GMO.
And it gets back to, of course, that's Wimberley's Roots mission, to instruct people in gardening, to have healthy eating, to promote healthy eating, and we've got a community kitchen out there.
And you got a garden. You got a community garden too. So that was my great segue to that because that's what I was about to ask you. The community garden. Tell us about that.
Well, it's called a community garden. That doesn't mean it's my garden or your garden, or if you go out there, it belongs. It belongs to the community.
Yeah.
Right now, we're operating on maybe 3 key volunteers. We brought, the last month, it was 900 pounds of vegetables came out of the garden.
Out of the
We
community
have-
garden? Wow.
Exactly. Done by 3 people. We need volunteers, and it can be for an hour or 15 minutes. There's projects, but in order to keep that operating, we need help. Now, on the other side, we just
Yeah.
had Seeds International that appreciate our program, know our area, and this was a big partnership, like with a lot of making sure we were right. They looked at our area, they looked at our photos, they talked to people. They have provided us, well, to promote this event, they gave us 40 pounds of flower seeds, which I passed out all over the county.
So did they test the soil too and all that good stuff too?
Yes, Josh from the Extension Office, I don't know if you talked with
No,
them.
I have not.
The Extension Office, they are the best place to get your soil tested. They will give you any information on anything. And yes, our soil is tested. It's actually coming out that better than it's ever been. We just have to add a little few minor things. We go as organic as possible. We don't put anything out there to make the big fat blueberries. The bees do it.
The
for
bees
us.
do it for you?
As long as we do our part in making sure that the bees are there.
And then what is your part to make sure that the bees are there? What do you have to, what attracts them?
Flowers. Open
what are those?
spaces.
Flowers,
There's
open
a
space.
wonderful wind that goes down to the farm.
Yeah.
This area is open. In fact, the whole Wimberley Center was designed with pollinators in mind. So they see this great big open space. There's
And
a
they're
lot
coming.
of wind going around. It's fresh and clean. Plus, they always like to come and look at the Wimberley Center because it's a really historic conversion. And
It absolutely is.
people come here to visit to see what we've done here. How an old abandoned school was turned into this. And it keeps a lot of its historic value. In my office, the lights are above my head like an old library where kids
Yeah.
couldn't touch them. The stage is a lot of the original wood. What we're sitting in, this is Mr. Wimberley's spanking chair. I mean, it's just a unique place. There have been a lot of people that come in and said, wow. And it began from conversations when a school just sat there.
And to I guess it's to tell my age, I went to first grade here.
Yeah.
I went to first grade and my the principal then was Miss Sims' husband. His name was
Oh, okay.
Festus Sims. And I remember sitting in that chair when I was getting ready to register for
I have one in my office. I love
when I was getting ready because my mom and I were in the office. We had moved from Gwinnett County to Lawrence. To Winder. And we were in the office. They told us the secretary told us to go in the office and just sit at Festus Sims. Mr. Sims would be in there, and I sat in his chair. And I didn't know when I came in, it was one thing he said. He started laughing. He said, "You like that chair?" And I was like, and I realized then I was sitting in his chair. My mom said, "Get out of that man's chair." So that's just a small tidbit, but I got history here, and like I said, this community and what you guys are doing to try to help revitalize it, and by doing events like this, and opening up for nonprofits to come in so they can have centrally located to serve this community. Because like I said, within walking distance, and that's why when I go Facebook Live, to YouTube Live, what I tell them now is that you got time to get here. You got time to get here, and this is a great event. And Suzanne, thank you so much for having me. This is a great opportunity. It's one that I will cherish. And like I said, I got over 8,000 subscribers, and a lot of them have been on. Thank you guys for commenting in the chat, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. We did both of them live today. It's the first time I did that, but I thought this was great. It turned out great. 3 really great interviews, and thank you guys so much for having me. And again, this is going on till 2 p.m. So you guys still got time to come out, especially if you're in this community, you within walking distance for it. You got time to come out for about another hour and just enjoy and see what you guys. This effort was not in vain. Miss Susan, thank you guys so much. And it's like we always like to say at the end of every broadcast, it's a wrap. Thank you for
No,
having
no,
me.
one
One more time.
thing,
One more thing. Go ahead. Go
okay?
ahead.
This stage
Yes.
is yours for podcasts. As long as we don't have anybody up here and we're starting to get busy.
Thank you.
You can sit in this seat in a different way.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, thank you so much. This is that is really a thank you so much. I'm being blessed here. Thank you so much. And again, like we say at the end of every podcast, Reggie, I don't know what happened to you, but you were supposed to come in and chime in. But anyway, like we said at the end of every broadcast, it's a wrap.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. This was awesome.
This is like
Is it?
how cool this chair was made for you. First grade, you never knew.
I never knew it. I never knew it.